Hi friends, welcome. This is Swetha Sanath here from Lessons Gate Academy. Today we're going to discuss a topic that's very important for any commercial studies. Uh, for today is accounting standards. Let me just take you through the entire clear. We're going to look at accounting standards today. What is accounting basically? Accounting, in layman's word, it is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing financial information. In a nutshell, you can say that it is basically the language of business, what the business speaks of. As for any language, this also needs a set of rules and syntax to be meaningful. So the entire art of recording, classifying, and summarizing all of the business activities and events, and this is basically called the financial information, in a nutshell, is called process accounting. And this is like a language. You can compare this to a language, and as in any language, it would need a set of rules to be followed and a syntax to be followed so that it is meaningful. The set of rules and syntax need to be followed consistently across the business world to be able to effectively communicate. Because as a business, you're not standalone. There's a supplier, there's a consumer. There are ancillary industries that go hand in hand with the particular business that you're in. Be it service, be it manufacturing, be it industrial activities, whatever be it. Unless all the business information is compiled in the same set of rules and syntax, it is very difficult to communicate. It is like two people who do not speak the same language trying to communicate with each other. It would definitely not be effective. So, for an effective language, one needs to understand the rules and syntax to be able to communicate effectively. The same goes with business language as well. Oh, who sets these rules? Of course, we know that there is a set of rules that need to be followed, which is standard. Everybody knows that this comes after this and this should be used in this context. But who sets these rules for the business standards, accounting standards per se? These rules are set by the respective apex body of a country, which direct, regulate, and monitor the accounting profession. Every country, every geographical location will have an apex body for that country, which will dictate how the business is conducted, how the business information is recorded and translated to the world at large to be able to understand what happens within the business. So this apex body is unique to each country, and each country will have to abide by what these apex body. Time and again, they'll revise it according to the trends. They'll have to take note of what happens in the world. Digital transactions have been new. So they have to accommodate that as well. So that is the role of the apex body, and that country should follow that set of rules to account their business activities. So this is country specific. Now we discuss as now we kind of understand how it should be when a business from India should be able to interact with a business in America. We need to speak the same language, and just as that, the business language should also be the same. The accounting information shared between the parent company in the United States of America and the subsidiary in India should be on the same platform to be able to compare, to be able to understand whether this is they are on the same platform. Otherwise, it's apples and oranges. So that you wouldn't be able to assess the business information and use that information for investing purposes or lending purposes, or no matter what. For everything to be compared with and to be able to make a meaningful decision, we need them to be on the same platform. So, how are these rules to be the same across countries? It's not possible for all countries to be able to accept and agree on all terms and topics to be handled. But what they have here is they have treaties between the apex bodies. Now, which means the apex body of India and the apex body of America would have common understanding as to how they would deal with, and there are certain common aspects which they follow, and there are certain differential aspects that they prefer to differ with. But when they translate it and try to present it together, they try to translate it at a level where they are comparable. Now, for India, in India, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is the apex body established by the Parliament for regulating the profession of chartered accountants in India. So, most people would have heard the term chartered accountant. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is a statute that has been floated by the Government of India through its enactment of the Parliament, which is embodied with the responsibility of regulating the profession of chartered accountants in India. And these chartered accountants, in short, they are called the CAs. These chartered accountants are those finance professionals who ensure that business information is captured, accounted for, and reported in a meaningful way for a business to be understood by the general public at large. Similar to ICAI, there are other bodies set up in every country across the globe to direct, regulate, and monitor the accounting profession in their nation to ensure the language of business flows seamless even across international borders. This facilitates trade, e-commerce, commerce across nations. So there is with the new global environment, we need to be able to interact and transact business with one corner in one corner of the world with the another. For that to happen, these apex bodies like the Chartered Accountants Institute of India and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, they have a treaty, they have an understanding as to how these information are to be recorded, translated, and reported to make them meaningful. Just as we translate books from English to German, accounting information can also be translated across national barriers to facilitate business. The translation rules are set up in mutual agreement between the apex bodies of each nation. We have something called the Accounting Standards Board. What is an Accounting Standard Board? Standards are set by these apex bodies. We just saw that. And in India, the Accounting Standards Board, the ASB in short, of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, is responsible for setting accounting standards. It's the authority to set standards for accounting practices. So when we talk about accounting practices and we say this is the authority for setting up these accounting practices, what do we mean by that? It doesn't make sense. Accounting Standard Board formulates all the accounting standards for the Indian companies. This process is fully transparent, very thorough, complete, completely independent of any government involvement, which ensures objectivity of the spirit of the transactions. While framing the standard, the Accounting Standard Board will try and incorporate the IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, and its principles in the Indian standards to be able to effectively communicate with the rest of the world. When we say accounting practices, we mean each and every aspect of business and how they should be treated for in the books of accounts of a business. For example, we have a list of accounting standards given out by the Accounting Standards Board, which is in a body under the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which is the apex body in India, to ensure the accounting practice standards are set. They take up each and every aspect. Like, for example, Accounting Standard 1 deals with disclosure of accounting policies. Every company in their financial statement, in their financial information, have to list the accounting policies adopted by them to ensure the accounting, recording, classifying, and summarizing the financial information. The same goes with the others. There's so many aspects that you can see: valuation of inventories, cash flow statements, name it. There are so many aspects that are dealt with in detail by the Accounting Standards Board to set up the rules and syntax to be followed with different examples and scenarios to be followed. Almost around 32 accounting standards have been floated by the Accounting Standards Board of India. And this forms a rule book for all the businesses in India to record their financial information and bring out meaningful information available to the users of that financial information. More in detail about each accounting standards in our videos. Thank you.